What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Paul is back. You're back from vacation.
I survived.
Why didn't you take me with you?
Weird to put a person in a carry-on. FAA, frowned upon.
Nah. Today we've got an unboxing for you guys. A whole bunch of new stuff from Z-Man, some stuff that dropped at ICAST. We've got some great Lakes Finesse. We've got some Booyah. We've got some shoes. There's a lot of stuff to go through. And boots. Boots and shoes.
Boots. Investors?
Investors? Maybe you. All right, let's get to the unboxing. We're going to start off, should we do apparel first or
Let's
last?
do the footwear.
Footwear first, and then we're going to the baits. Let's get to it. We are looking at a whole bunch of stuff here from a company called Rocky. If you guys haven't heard of them,
there you go.
Rocky. So you guys can check these out, Rocky Footwear. We found out that Rocky Brands is this umbrella of other brands, including Extra Tough and Muck Boots. So we're pretty stoked about that. But also, Rocky Footwear itself is kind of neat. So this is their water shoe. This is fully ventilated. Hang on. Get that thing out of here. Fully ventilated. You can actually like see through that. Look at that. And it's all like there's holes in the insole here as well. And if we rip that out, look at the inside. It's going to all drain out of there. Look at this.
There's nothing to it.
It's holy and very, very light. So that is cool. And it's all like this stretch sock style material as well. And then these are also little drain ports down there. So look at the grip. Well, grip's kind of nuts.
One thing I think a lot of people have been talking to us about is, I saw this on a couple comments, they're like, hey, why do they even make the upper something that can absorb water? Because now you're dealing with, while it's drying, the sogginess. I think that's what someone said. Like, that's valid. That's why you're seeing this. It's hard to see through camera, but I can see directly through this. I can see you. I'm watching me watching you. And it's pretty cool because the amount of material here that can actually even hold water is almost all in the sole, which means you're not getting nearly as much of that soggy when you're doing like a wet load or a wet launch or a wet. The worst is when you're pulling out. The worst is when you're leaving and you pull the kayak out and you have some soggy feet while you're trying to go to the gas station and get a Gatorade to recover. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's really genius. And that's hitting exactly what you guys are asking for.
Yeah. And look at like the little honeycomb. Oh my gosh, the glare.
There it is.
Look at the honeycomb design on the bottom of that insole. That is pretty nuts. That's porous, letting all the water out.
And that's what letting the water go through into here, which is the footbed. And again, I can actually see there's like a whole grid pattern of holes on the inside. You can kind of see them. Those are those darker spots in the footbed. And that leads directly to some of those drain ports. So that's getting the water the heck away from your foot.
Pretty dang neat. So we're going to be testing these out heavily.
These are the most rugged bottoms I've felt on a shoe yet. The thickest sole on a water shoe. So, and that's great for your river walkers, which is definitely me when I go in the river. 50% of the time I'm getting out at some point.
Do some wet wade.
Yeah, and I've had a piece of shale on my foot and it got infected and I had a bad day. I would have liked to have had these instead of my Crocs.
Straight through the Croc.
That was never a shot.
Croc's like an anti-shield.
It's like an absorbs thing.
The opposite.
Put something through my foot.
Please impale me. So that is the no wake water shoe. Next up.
This is like their, what they would call like their heritage Rocky shoe. Dude, this is like a Hey Dude on steroids.
It's a Hey Dude that dries really fast. So this is called the Dry Strike SRX, and look at the bottom.
Oh, dude, it's like they call this their like the oil drip safe, meaning like when you get like work shoes and you're gonna be in a greasy environment, like a kitchen, which is honestly kitchen, but like floors.
They do a lot of hospitality shoes. They have a lot of work boots, a lot of hospitality shoes, a lot of cowboy boots.
They know their stuff.
So yeah, if you want any of those things, you can go like your Western options, your work options.
Your Western options. But yeah, these have like that Hey Dude style design, way heavier duty bottom for sure. And then the upper is like a stretch here at the heel, like where the opening is, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about
two tabs,
really anything. And
so
the two tabs is critical.
Get in there. Yeah, looks pretty nice, fairly lightweight, more of like a mid-weight, so not as light as Hey Dude's, but that's because it's got a more rugged sole for sure.
It's a real shoe.
But they look pretty comfortable.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna rock these.
Again, we're gonna be testing these out. What we do with apparel and shoes and things like that is typically we wear them till they die. So Paul, show them the shoes you were testing out there real quick.
I've been killing these for about a month.
You guys remember us unboxing these? These are the Columbia PFGs. Stop smelling your shoes.
It's
so
called
weird.
Testing.
Gross.
These are super comfy, actually.
We wore them as water shoes. We beat the tar out of them, and we're going to continue to do that with every other product that we test here on the channel. So we're going to be wearing these. We're going to wear the no wakes. Those should be a lot of fun, and we will report back to you after we use them pretty heavily for a couple of weeks.
I'm going to report to you right now. These things are super comfortable. What the heck?
Reporting in now. The two shoes that you're wearing right now, that was actually a good look. You had two different shoes on. I kind of liked it.
Pretty standard standard for me, honestly.
Pretty standard, for sure.
I'm wearing these the rest of the unboxing.
Super, super comfy.
How are the no wakes?
Very wide toe box. Like one of the wider toe boxes that I've ever seen.
Kind of slept on, honestly, though, for comfort.
Yeah, because it lets your toes spread out.
Yeah. In the river. Yeah. That's what you need, bro.
Toe box me, dude. Look at that. Pretty wide toe box on these no wakes. I'm excited for that. A little more narrow on the dry strikes, but they're going to be like really cozy, comfy shoes that you can wear around a lot.
The most rugged slipper feeling shoe ever. That's how I'm feeling right now.
These are great. We're going to wear these the rest of the show. What we won't be wearing right now, because it's not the season yet, these would be sweltering, but we do have a cool option after this.
It's cool.
Get it? So we got two options for Muck boots that we're going to test out here. Number one is the Wetland. So I've run Muck boots in the past. Mostly I've been running the Edgewater. These are like $100. You can get them at a Tractor Supply Co. I don't love the sole on these. There's like not much to it. So I was like, let's try something a little more aggressive. So I was looking through the website.
Oh my God, bro.
And we got the Chore. So them the Chore.
The Chore is like,
the Chore is a real boot.
Look how friggin' thick that sole is. This is a beast.
Now this is also their Express Cool.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it should have like
theoretically
some. Oh, you can kind of feel it. There's like a cooling property on the inside of that neoprene. So normally, if you guys haven't worn neoprene boots or you haven't worn like heavy duty boots, the thing that happens is you end up sweating a lot, right? So neoprene is going to hold a lot of that heat, a lot of that temperature in there, a lot of that moisture in there. So having something like the Express Cool could be nice, as well as the Chore Express Cool option there, so you can be working in these and maybe not sweat as much. We're gonna test them. I'm gonna mow the lawn in these.
Dude, you're gonna be freaking stomping some mud with these things.
Heck yeah, dude.
It's hard to, like,
you're gonna be kicking some stuff.
It's legit. Holy crap.
So those are pretty sweet. And then we got the Wetland here, which is gonna have a super, look at the grip on this. That's insane. Pretty heavy duty grip, pretty overbuilt there. That is looking really nice. And this should be a good all around outdoors boot.
Couple of differences that you're going to want to see. You can see the difference in the style of rubber and the thickness. So this is a little more abrasive, a little more rigid. This one's a little bit softer, but goes up a little higher. And it's really more about like, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be walking a lot in uncomfortable terrain in these. So that's why this has more of that like Vibram style, single piece rubber versus this one is like, I mean, that is a boot. This is a boot bottom, and it's got this really hard toe for doing the chore stuff, kicking stuff around, and hopefully keeping you a little bit safer when you're doing chores at home.
Yeah, this is great. Like pavement to your heavy duty equipment to just walking around in the dirt.
Rigging a kayak and have one fall on your foot.
Possibly that too.
Yeah, that's a legit boot. Dude, these are awesome. Holy crap.
Going in barefoot. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
These are great.
These are comfy. The soles of my Edgewaters are pretty much blown out. I've been wearing them for like 5 years.
And I will tell you guys right now, I have used everything from the very, very expensive down to like the midpoint probably. And I will tell you, his foot's in those now.
Look, that's how high up they go, just so you know.
And I will tell you guys, so I've used just about every boot you can, from the very expensive to the midpoint, really. Mm-hmm. And I've had some good experiences and some very bad ones. And honestly, the more expensive I've gotten, the more disappointed I've been, if I'm being honest. Lacrosse, I would have bet by Red Wing shoes. I've had a bunch of Red Wing boots, and I've had a couple of them resold like a couple of times. Mm-hmm. The Lacrosse did not hold up for me, and I don't know if I'll go back again because those were like $190, and it's
a lot.
So I'm really hoping that these stand the test of time. We'll see. I will tell you though that these are really important for us. I would tell you too that these are really important for us because being in the Midwest, we get that cold water in the spring and the fall, and that's kind of a deterrent for your wet launches, right, and your pullouts, because what happens is you got to get in the water somehow, a little bit, right? Yep. And if you don't have any protection, if you don't have something flexible like neoprene, like these rubber bottom neoprene combos, I don't feel confident loading and unloading. If you fall and you're not wearing bibs, or heck, even if you are, if you're getting wet, your day might be done. Like you might be over because the air temp might be in the 30s and the water temp might be in the 50s. And all of a sudden it's like, that's freaking cold. So having a boot that you can kayak in, that's flexible enough to be like walking around the house, but also keep you safe while you're trying to load and unload without having to wear a full set of waders, must have for us in the north.
The docks get pulled out usually in like September or October.
Oh, yeah. At your Publix.
Yeah, so like you could launch from the dock, but it's going to be gone, and then you're going to continue fishing maybe for another month after that. In like maybe we should just man up like the people in the comments would probably say.
Yeah, if you like to have soaking wet, frigid feet while you fish, go for it.
That's what
I
real
don't
men do.
personally. Yeah, if real men need to be uncomfortable, then I'm not a real man. Sounds good.
Fake man.
I'm a faux man.
You're a fake man. A faux man. All right, that's enough about shoes and feet and stuff. Let's move on.
we had a foot segment?
There was a foot segment. We just did it. All right, so we're moving to the baits. Let's get into that stuff. So we got some new drops here. Here's your hat, buddy. Check this out. New hat drop from Great Lakes Finesse.
Oh.
This might be my favorite style
Flat
of hat
bill? Yeah.
right now. So this is the Richardson Outdoor. First of all, always love a Richardson hat. Second of all, these are comfy. They're lightweight. The little rope hat there. Nice. These are like my favorite rope hats right now. So these are pretty sick. And it's got the little patch there from GLF. Those are available on LureNet if you guys want to pick them up.
This one climbed to the top 10, and I've only worn it for 30 seconds.
Just jumped up the rankings.
I already knew, yeah.
Next.
So you guys have already seen this unboxed, but this is the bait wallet, from the terminal wallet, excuse me, from Great Lakes Finesse. So inside, well, I want to show unloaded. This is what it looks like. You got a lot of pages in there, and these very heavy-duty sleeves. They are like a poly rubber, and then they have the zip that goes across the top, which I like the zip. I think that's awesome. They work really, really well. But what gets me nervous, and I've had these for like the worm bags, is the one for plastics. They fill up so fast you can really fill it up like a quarter of the way, but the whole thing is bursting. Jeff went ahead and tested that for you. Let's see what it looks like.
So there are this many full pages in there, and I even like went and just added a bunch of baits in the back. So here's like from my BFS boxes.
I mean, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
I have 2.5 sleeves left out of all of them.
And the zips
and it closes all the way up.
Yeah.
And the way the zipper works as it gets more full, I didn't show this in the unboxing. There's actually a tab that buttons down right there. So you open up that tab, and that makes it a lot easier to zip up the whole thing. But you saw how easy that was right there. And
takes the tension off.
Boom, done. And you snap that tab back down on this side, and you are good to go. And then you put that, I would just keep this in the top of my kayak crate, and then like I have access to all of my Micro Finesse stuff.
Questions people have asked, does it fit other terminal? Yes, it does, but not every single one. But like most terminal plastic container, like baggies, are within a 1/4 inch the same size. So all your standard size are gonna fit in there, especially for Great Lakes Finesse. There's just not a lot of large terminal because they don't make large plastics. So anything that's at standard size, we'll say 3/0 and less, shouldn't really be a problem. And you can load them up. And you can also do dual-sided. So a lot of folks were like, hey, can I flip them? You can see through both sides. So yes, you can do that as well.
Also, this is how we all stored our CDs, kids. This is how you had your CDs back in the day.
You know how many people just said, what's a CD?
Exactly. Grow up, grow down.
Grow down.
We're saving Z-Band for last. The next thing we're going to is, we'll continue with Great Lakes Finesse. Then we got some Booyah and some YUM. So some GLF stuff. We talked about the Micro series. We've done an unbox of these already, so I'm not going to rehash it too much. But I picked up some colors that we didn't have.
Dude, and the Matte 309 is one of the best colors they make. It's a motor oil base, a little bit lighter than their motor oil, I think, and then it's got some a little bit of glitter in there, but it does provide some contrast on that. So
basically clear.
Dude, it's really good.
Basically see-through. But that was the Juvie Craw, and then this is like my favorite color, hands down, the Meltdown for the drop minnow.
It's just their chartreuse. I'm gonna try and get it without the glare in there. It's really good though.
New micro size is 2.25, so there's 3 sizes of the drop minnow now: big, medium, small. Big, medium, micro. And then because we have the new snack craw sizes, I wanted to get some more Ned rig heads. So the Ned jigs from GLF, more of that like bulky squared off body, and then they actually have a couple of key features that really help them stand out. But we picked up a couple of weights here, so I got some 1/8 ounce and one 3/16 ounce.
Just to show you some of those key features, you get a dual bait holder, so you get the hook in the back, but you also get the sort of like bump here in the front, the arrow shape in the front, and then it's actually trimmed off, so there's not as much here at the bottom. The Gamakatsu hook, that's like a huge thing for them. They really know their hooks, and they're designed to work with the bait weight, and they know that you're going to be fighting with the rod, so you don't need that, you want 100% penetration, and you don't need the hook to do most of the work. Also, you get this See those ridges right there? That's providing that like feedback, right? You see you're getting a little more contact no matter what's going on. That's a big part of it. And then also there is like this very small, it's almost like a ramp. Like they took a chunk out right here in the front, and then that is going to help you get over those rocks and also provide some movement when you're below. Last but not least, no chip, really, really high-end coating, and they always have the hook eye clear. You're never gonna have to unclear one of those.
Picked up some different weights in the sneaky underspins in a bunch of different colors, just so we had some restocks going into the fall season. These are always sick. They call them the Lake Vacuum.
Because that's what they are.
Confirmed. I did pick up a bunch more colors and weights in the micro version of these. The micro version is sick. Not only do you get that downsized lower weight option for these, but you also get their improved heat shrink bait keeper. So this bait keeper piece right there, because of the way this jig head is designed, on the normal version can become loose, but on the micro version, so the newest run of these lures, they have changed that up where it is now heat shrunk, which is cool.
Right there. And I absolutely love this color. So it's a green pumpkin, but it's got the orange right at the jaw there. This is one of my absolute favorite colors. And these things have really high quality barrel swivels. They move instantly, which a lot of times with these really thin, smaller blades, there's not like enough water tension to move them. So having the higher end barrel swivel gets them rolling.
Next up.
Oh yeah.
We got new colors here for the Booyah XCS. So if you guys don't know, Booyah is under that big old Pradco umbrella. There's 1,000 trillion brands under there.
Did not plan this, just have it.
Sellout.
It's a great shirt.
Wears GLF hat too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
frickin' sellout over here. Booyah is one of those brands. They also have War Eagle, they got YUM, they got Lakes Finesse, they got all sorts of stuff, which is cool because they're putting out some really neat stuff. And they put out the Bankin' Creek bag, which has a lot of these too. So the two options with the XCS, they have a 100 size, which is this size, and they have a 200 size. Show them that. And then you put them side by side, there you go. Difference, 1/2 ounce and 2 inches versus 2.75 inches and 5/8 of an ounce. So pretty cool little square bill. If you guys haven't used the XCS before, it's like a nice budget-friendly square bill option that I think most folks would be really happy with.
And they also have the black nickel hooks, coated hooks, which is probably my favorite, one of my favorites to get on a square billy.
Other colors we got is the glass minnow, which is pretty sick there. There's a nice little bit of flash up on the top, white belly. And then we got fool's gold. Might be my favorite. Kind of more like a bone color, actually. Yeah. Which is interesting.
It's for my Billy boys, my square Billy boys.
For the Billy boys. Just a restock for me, but if you guys haven't picked these up before, these are solid. This is the 3.25 inch chunk craw from YUM.
Black.
Just a really nice, affordable option. So I got some in watermelon, we got some black and blues, and we got green pumpkin. Literally the only 3 colors I really ever use for jig trailers. So.
I like the green pumpkin blue swirl is the only other one that I really like to have.
This is the only other color I already did have. So moving on. Last thing we got some Z-Man. Some Z-Man stuff. Look at that. It's a Swag LT. It won some awards or whatever. Like, it's kind of a big deal. So Z-Man dropped a whole bunch of new products this year. They also went all fuzzy and stuff. So we've got the fuzzy bugs. We got the fuzzy nugs. And then we got the fuzzy turds. So we got it all covered. For the fuzzy series from Z-Man, they come in 4 packs. This is the package. This is what it's going to look like. It's stapled on either side, and then you have a little perforated top section there. So real quick on these, you know how we feel about clamshells. So no shade to Z-Man or anything, but this is too much clamshell. So I'm probably ditching that, and I understand that it'll help keep like the silicone skirt in pristine condition. Also, it would prevent color bleeding from like one color to the other. So what I'll most likely do is I'll take an empty Z-Man bag and I'll just toss these into there. And then you could add scent fuel and stuff like that if you wanted to as well. So that's just the direction I'm going because I don't feel like carrying a bunch of these around.
I appreciate that they're thin though, so you kind of do your best with what you got. I also hate clamshells. It's just, that's a personal thing. Look, I mean, you don't want to be spending money, and these are a little more expensive than the standard $5.99. So yeah, you definitely don't want to be throwing those away.
Okay, so first up we got the fuzzy bugs. So the fuzzy bug is more of this like probe shape, we'll call it.
Oh, what?
But this thing is pretty sick. They've actually got the silicone skirted material is kind of split. So you got this tapered section in the middle, skirted down here, skirted up here. So you can rig this up like a Ned. You can Texas rig this. You can go weightless and float it around. You can do all sorts of stuff. And potentially you could just rip this thing in half or cut it in half. And now you have 2 smaller bite-sized versions essentially covering your dice option as well. But look at that. And this is in the bubble gum color. Pretty sick.
And next up we have the fuzzy TRD. So they took their standard TRD and they poked a bunch of holes in it and ran that material through it. So now it's got some appendages. Appendipals. One thing I like that they did here, they added like, hey, you can do this with a Ned rig, a drop shot, or a Nico rig, just as some examples. Because look, I mean, honestly, a lot of people haven't used baits like this before. And when they float, your brain is like, wait, is it supposed to float or not? Do I use a hook or a weight or not? I can't make it work. And so they're giving you some like, hey, these are your standards, these are your go-tos. I appreciate that, especially for us new folks who this is actually new for.
Then we got the fuzzy nugs. Look at this. This is in a green pumpkin purple flake, like a goby color. So this one is called green pumpkin goby, and it's a 12-sided die. And this is like a lot denser than the normal material that you get Elastec wise. Feels like it's gonna hold up really well, and that's the thing you really need from baits like this. If this were the softer Elastec and you slip a little hook through there, as soon as a fish hits this, they're gonna shake, it's gonna fly off. That has happened to me a bunch with cheaper dice or just like the weaker material or like softer material dice. So this should hold up a lot better. A couple things you can do with this, a couple thousand things you can do with this. Drop shotting is definitely recommended. So another option if you want to Nico rig this thing or just get it to sink lower in the water column, just throw a nail weight into it. Just make sure it's short enough. So you need a very small nail weight that's gonna go into this thing. But you could do that too, just added option. And honestly, I've been having a lot of fun rigging these like on just a little wacky hook or a circle hook, whatever you have, and then just twitching it on a spinning setup. So that's been really producing a lot of catches for me.
And what I like that they called about the free rig is this is prime for the free rig because it does float. The free rig is a free floating weight that, and then the hook at the end. So you cast it out, and when you cast it, the weight and the bait are right next to each other. It's gonna go to the bottom, and then your weight stays down, and when you give it a little slack, because it floats, it starts doing that, which I think is very not normal for what fish are normally seeing. So in addition to all the appendipals and appendaguys in the sphere, it's also moving in a direction they're not really used to from your baits. It's moving upwards. So I think that one's pretty cool, and that's probably the first thing I'm gonna try, honestly.
Hell yeah.
Why the heck does that thing look so freaking dirty and gross?
It looks disgusting.
It looks nasty.
That's what the fish want.
That's what the fish want. That's why it looks that way. These are the new scented jerk shads. This one happens to be in a 6-inch.
We got another 6-inch. This is the Bad Shad. So we got Bad Shad and then Gussie's Glimmer Blue.
Gussie's Glizzy Blue?
Gussie's Glizzy is exactly what
where my head went.
So we got Bad Shad, we got Gussie's Glimmer Blue. Now this is a 7-inch, so this is the big boy.
That's a big jerk shad for the Midwest.
Yep.
I'll tell you that right now.
Scented jerk shads, if you guys have never used them before, are highly effective at catching fish. They are like tournament winners. Yep. It's just overall a great bait, and it works great salt and freshwater. I've had a lot of fun with them. Just rig it weightless or throw a weight on there. You can Texas rig it. There's weighted fluke hooks, a lot of different options. Z-Man makes a bunch of hooks that are great because they have the little keeper on them as well, so that you don't. I have one right here.
I was about to say there's one right here somewhere.
Floating around. So you can grab one of these Z-Man specific hooks. This is great for it, and you can add a weight or put a nail weight in the head of that if you want to. But this little peg right there is going to help keep that thing in place for you, and then this is perfect for Z-Man Elastec, so it kind of hooks into that bait, keeps the head of the bait in the right position. So throwing this on those, you can have a great time, or you can just nose hook it and just fish it around that way. And if you need it to get down, add a nail weight.
I'll tell you right now, when you use a belly weighted EWG, I can express to you how well that thing swims. People have said it before, and I never would have believed it, and I fished it for like a full day.
Yep.
You could rocket it back on a bait caster as fast as possible, and it just does this better.
And what else is sick? This guy right here. Man. So this is the Swag LT, LT being line through. So it's a line through bait. It actually comes with 2 hook options right off the get, which is really sick. And then you've got this new design on the tail. So this, as opposed to some of their previous iterations, because they've been dropping a new line through bait, it feels like every single year. A lot of them have been more wedge tail style. This is a little bit different, designed to fish a little bit faster, kind of like a mag draft, essentially.
It's definitely going after that mag draft action, and one thing they call out is they call out over-under rigging options. So like Jeff was saying, this comes with, in the inside of the head, there's actually a whole chassis, and you can actually run, like Jeff was saying, you can run the line through the bottom, or you can run it through the top, which is really cool. And that's what that chassis does. It creates a channel for the line, so you just poke it through the nose and it'll either pop up the top or the bottom, tie your hook on after the fact, and that does a couple of things for you. One, it gives you flexibility, which is really cool, so you're not limited in the way to rig it, and when you rig it, it doesn't ruin the bait. So it's meant to be rigged very easily and go back and forth, and because it's Z-Man, it's gonna hold up for a heck of a lot longer than a normal plastic. That elastic lasts a very, very, very long time. We're talking season after season instead of like, oh, my Magic got ripped because it's regular plastic. Oh shucks, I'm in trouble. I just lost $28.
That's not what I say. Ow! Oh, I got blood on the thing. Mine. Dibs. There's a closer look now. If you guys don't know this as well, all these line throughs, as well as a lot of the pre-rigged baits that Z-Man puts out, they come with these clamshells. So like the Z-Man Gobius, for example.
Like the other clamshell where like, this is too big, I don't like it. This is one of my favorite pieces of like packaging. Megabass did it first.
Oh, 100%.
But Z-Man did it better.
Megabass had a lot of excess plastic around it too.
The
Not
edges,
that I guess it matters or whatever, but yeah, they really like trim this out, which is cool. And then you can see, yeah, I know you were going for that. You can see these tabs right here. So you just push that tab across. There's one on top, one on bottom. That's all you really need. And you could expose this hook if you wanted to put this on while it's on a rod that is rigged. You can take that part off, and then the hook can go onto your hook keeper.
Yeah, so basically,
there's blood all over.
these are just little locking tabs, which I think is absolutely genius. And again, well, maybe not again. If you're unaware, the elastic material, you can show them how stretchy it is. This stretchy material.
What?
It's wonderful because until like, I mean, honestly, seasons when it gets waterlogged, until that happens, it's going to remain usable and fish are not going to bite them off. But they do not play nice with regular plastic. So when you have a regular standard plastic and you put it right next to the Z-Man, they meld together to make one giant stuck together nacho that is unfishable.
When it's stuck together, it's just one nacho.
It's just one nacho.
So here's your top hook. So that actually goes into that chamber there, and it kind of like locks into place, which is cool. So it really takes a savage strike for that to rip out. Cool thing about line throughs, if you guys are unaware, is once the fish is hooked, they're on this hook, that hook is going to come out of the bait. The bait is going to go this way, and then the fish is going to be right here. And what does that do? They have zero leverage, nothing that they can use to shake this off, which they can do usually with bigger baits, right? So that is one of the benefits there.
It also doesn't ruin the plastic.
And that is the other big benefit. You don't ruin the thing. And then on the bottom, check this out. So they've got the little double two keepers there that's gonna hold this into place. And also, oh no, it broke. Just kidding. That is where this is designed to go into the bait. There's actually a whole little belly button right there. So it just goes into the belly button and then it snaps into here. And then, oh my gosh, I'm gonna stab myself more times this episode. There we go. And then it doesn't come out until a fish strikes that, and then they have no leverage again, which is really cool. So the whole body of this is semi-indestructible Elastec, and then the front has this like chassis section.
Is what I've been calling it.
And it basically takes 100 fish strikes.
Yeah,
eventually that head section starts to peel away. Still fishable, but like that's the part that'll get damaged.
You can start to see it. There's that plastic piece in there, and that plastic piece occupies this whole head area. So, dude, this thing is freaking awesome. And then we were talking about that tail shape. So it's like a hybrid. So you can kind of see here, it's not quite a paddle tail, and it's not quite a wedge tail. It's something in between. So it's going to work a lot faster, better at higher speeds, where wedge tails don't do great at higher speeds usually. But it's going to do really well at slower speeds than maybe just a standard paddle tail, which is what wedge tails are great at. So it's kind of that hybrid.
And there's some details for the product on the back there. Yeah, so this is a very interesting bait. I'm really excited for it. It also has an internal glass rattle, it says.
Oh, yeah. You won't hear it on
rattle.
camera. There's definitely one there. That's interesting.
Everybody quiet.
Yeah, I can hear it from where I'm standing. It's interesting they went glass. I wonder if they're using the same rattles that they use.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they have their own proprietary glass rattle that they sell, so
but they have
I'm sure
in stock.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Yep.
Still, that's pretty cool.
All right, you guys, that's all we got for this unboxing. Hopefully you enjoyed this. We had a lot of fun. There's a bunch of cool new stuff that we now need to go fish and stomp around in. Oh, God. There's some footwear to destroy. We're going to have a blast with this. And stay tuned for the On the Water reviews, the end of the year recap, which is something that we do after we've used stuff for an entire season. If you're interested in things like that, you should probably subscribe. Maybe smash a like. Maybe ring that notification bell. Maybe come hang out with us live every Wednesday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. We have a lot of fun on those, and we'd love to see you there in chat.
And a lot of times we have special guests. So we're like kind of 50-50 where we'll have some great guests on that are talking to new and relevant things. We're about to have Flux jet on. That actually is probably out by the time you're seeing this video. Something people are very excited about, but sometimes it's just us in the community. And
these idiots.
We want to be a resource for you, so we leave that time open to answer questions. People will see videos and they come on the live and say, hey, like I saw this in the video, and we want to answer that for you. So if you're going through a kayak rigging situation, you bought something new that we talked about, and you're like, hey, I encountered this issue, we want to be a resource for you. So gear reviews, but also tips and tricks. So come join in the comments. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.